Angeles. Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
Hi, I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jessamine Moyer. This is Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Now also available on Apple TV and Roku. It's Monday Motivation, and I will go to Bora Bora or Paris or Cabo with Parker Polhill any day. I love that song you just listened to, International, at the top of the show. We're so excited to welcome them. It's going to be amazing, right?
I want to dance some salsa to that this morning. This heat already. Welcome to Monday Motivation, you guys. We're going to talk about what is success to you in all areas of your life, because the guests today have found success in their unique brands that we're going to discover right here.
Love it. Let's talk success. Monday morning.
Monday morning, we're so excited to welcome to the show Parker Polhill. He is an incredible recording artist, just recently launched on July 5th his single, International. Good morning, Parker.
Good morning.
Hello, and we have got the amazing, the beautiful, the hot bench herself, Tanya Acker. Good morning.
Good morning.
So here at Good Morning La La Land, we like to know, how do you start your day? What is your morning routine like? I have a feeling it's very structured, Tanya.
I would really like to say that my morning routine started with the dance party that I just had. I wish every day was a dance party, but not so much. It always has some coffee. It always has some coffee. Sometimes it has a little exercise. It's not normally a dance party, but I kind of wish it were.
Okay, well, there's always time to change, right? We can evolve.
Yes.
Monday Motivation. Parker, what about you? What's your morning routine like?
I wake up. Most mornings it takes me a few minutes to actually roll out, but once we get out, hit the gym, get some breakfast, and then my day's ready to go. Start making some music.
Nice.
Love it. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. It's simple, not easy, right? Well, thank you both so much for being here. We're excited to talk to you more later in the show.
Okay, all I got to say is one word: the heat. What's
real.
up?
It is real.
Woo!
Did you see on everybody's Instagram, there was this post in Los Angeles that it was hotter in LA than it actually was in Death Valley. It was brutal here in Los Angeles this weekend.
I got out. It was
where'd you
intense.
go?
Well, I went down to San Diego. My son and the family was down there for.
Family.
They literally had like 4th of July, like it was weekend. They had festivities this weekend instead. So it was really amazing. But it was interesting because we were driving down from San Clemente to San Diego. I think it was like in the hundreds in San Clemente, which is on the coast. And as we drove down to Carlsbad, it dropped into mid like 80s. So it went down like 10 degrees along the coast. So it was like almost like just a heat, like a thing just radiating over Los Angeles. I mean, I was like, I'm out.
It's intense. I will say I do like the heat though. So, and especially after 10 years in Miami, I mean, to be honest with you, it's hot, but it doesn't feel nearly as hot to me as Miami often does.
But you're a block from the beach.
I'm a block from the beach.
So yeah, talk to people in the Valley or Pasadena, a little different.
So what do you do to celebrate this heat? You brought Miami to LA.
I brought Miami. I did,
Jess.
I did. I was mostly at the beach all weekend. Did some reading. I watched a lot of documentaries. You know, it was just relaxing.
When you go to the beach, do you actually go in the water?
I do. But I don't particularly love Los Angeles. I don't love the Pacific as much as I do the Atlantic.
It's true.
I mean, Miami water, I mean, you get that Caribbean water, it's just so clear. It's like translucent. Like
I actually did go in the ocean, got my head under, which I never do ever, and it's crazy. But it was so much fun. They have this. It was just such a bizarre thing, you guys, growing up for 4th of July, because you've heard my crazy stories up in like the hippie commune on the hills of Santa Barbara. So I lived like, I think a double life when I was growing up, because my mom we were poor. Like we literally went to thrift store for clothes. We got the groceries we could get. We're significantly like not middle class for sure. And then my dad's side of the family was pretty wealthy. They had beach homes and stuff. So we'd go down there for like a couple weeks during the summer or holidays, and it was always this luxurious lifestyle. And I remember just thinking, when I grow up, I want money. Like it was like a clear decision I made.
I now understand your love for Rich Dad Poor Dad, right?
Totally,
you
right?
Live that.
Completely.
You totally live that.
Yeah.
What you do, Jez?
Well, I got really motivated this morning, and I went to the gym. I took a note from you, Rob. Before the show, I actually got my workout in. I feel like a different woman. Although I will say, I was a wreck. I dropped weights on myself. I lost my car. I was like, you know what, though? I'm forgiving myself for all of this. I'm not expecting myself to be perfect the first time.
Wait, you lost your car?
Oh, for sure.
What do you mean lost it?
Well,
Forget where you parked it?
when you do one of those laps around a parking garage, I swear every level has P2 on
Yes,
it.
it's true.
And there's at least 4 levels of P2.
And there's multiple colors, and
And I have a rental car right now, and so I was like, which one is it? I just was that like girl with like clicking, just clicking around. It was, oh my God. So, but hey, I tried. I tried.
Give it up.
good.
I can honestly like appreciate that because I go to bed. I'm like a child, I'm like a child. Like I go to bed at like 9 o'clock,
Yeah, not me.
8:30 if I can. You're going like you not only do the night thing, but you do the morning thing. That's when do you sleep?
You know, we're gonna have to figure this out.
Because I'm just gonna have to live international and take siestas. You know, that whole international vibe.
Bora Bora. I mean, there's so many amazing things though happening here in Los Angeles this week. So LA is continuing to celebrate the LGBTQ community, and all through July is the Outfest, the LA Film Festival, and it's happening this week, July 12th through the 22nd in DTLA. You can go to Eventbrite and get some more information about that. But it's really cool just to see how really that celebration is continued throughout the community, which is fun. And then Friday the 13th is this week, you guys.
Wow.
Ooh,
Yes.
scary.
It is scary. They're doing a whole rooftop cinema club with like Hocus Pocus and some really rad horror flicks. So, you know,
And
just something to think
super
about.
excited tomorrow have James Arthur Ray on the show.
Wow.
So excited. He was on The Secret and documentary out called Enlighten Us on Netflix. Big, interesting, very fascinating story. You want to tune in for that. And we just found out John Asraf from The Secret also is coming on the 23rd.
Yeah.
Go.
That's a big news.
I'm so excited because these are, you know, big influential people in my life for sure.
Oh, for sure. I've been watching them like on The Secret, reading
Right?
their books forever. So it's nice to have them actually in the studio.
Oh, absolutely. I just started the whole manifesting thing, and I feel like now we're bringing in some real heavy hitters in that world. So I've got a couple questions to ask. We'd love to know what you want to ask them. So slide into our DMs, leave us a comment on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, and let us know what you want to hear.
Right, and just a big shout out to Beverly Hills Rejuvenation Center. Also did go on Friday for the hydration facial. They call it a hydration facial. It's so much more than that. Let me tell you, I was like, oh, I'll just get a little hydrated for the heat, you know, for the weekend. No, they pretty much do dermabrasion, and it's like these, I have no idea. It was like these machines. They were going all over. It felt like it was freezing at the same time as dermabrasion. I have no idea, but it was good. It was really good.
Well, you were
Same.
absolutely glowing today, Erin.
Absolutely,
go,
yeah.
for sure.
It's always true, but you're extra glowed up today.
That's right. So let's take a little break. When we come back, we're going to talk about success, the secret to success in business in particular, because Monday motivation, we get a little blues going back to work sometimes. So let's talk about that. Take a little break. We'll come back.
You got this, girl. Here we go.
Oh my God, you're gonna make me laugh.
That was a good practice one, though.
It was a practice run, a little slow on the uptick. Let's.
Hi, my name is Jessie Golden, and I am the creator of The Golden Secrets. Hang on a second, sorry. Can we start over?
I'm Wendy Brokaw. I'm Paula Marshall. By the way, this is politics, okay? This is not ticks. I hated it. Let's do it one more time.
Well, that's why I created Just a Thought meditation recordings, so that you can meditate in your sleep. Pause it there. Can you edit it in?
Being new in town, it gives me a perspective on, oh shit, no, that was wrong.
No, can we start all over? That's too much talking.
No, I'm an actress. I mean, you've seen me. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's like so hard. It's so hard. That was so hard.
Once you go chocolate, you don't want to stop it.
Oh, God.
I'll stop.
Let's do it one more time.
Bitching,
Didn't work.
complaining.
Let me do it one more time.
We're gonna
Didn't
do
work.
it one more time.
Ready? And action.
Do I just talk again?
If you are vegan, you get a vegan broth. You get, Jesus, guys. Fuck. I'm blah, blah. I wish my boobs looked like yours. Where are they?
It's single issue. Single issue! Single issue!
Andy, did I make it fun yet? Thank you.
It's no longer a golden secret.
We're done!
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning LALALAND. We are celebrating hashtag Motivation Monday today. We have two incredible guests in the house. I'm so excited to welcome to the show Tanya Acker. Hello, good morning, Tanya. I'm so excited to have you here. Good morning, Parker Polehill. So, in this conversation about motivation, I'm wondering, what is your secret? What do you do to really stay motivated?
Oh, that's a good one. I think it really depends, frankly. It depends on what it is I'm trying to motivate for. If it's a work thing or an intellectual thing, really what works for me is to just get quiet. If I'm trying to motivate myself to do something physical, I just have to get up and do it. Like the less time I spend in my head about it and the more I just do stuff is really what works for me.
Love that. Gotta do it before you think too much about it.
Yeah. Exactly. You'll think your way out of anything,
That's right.
Every time.
Yeah, for me, it's just forward thinking. I mean, getting up and thinking what needs to be done, kind of make a checklist and just move from there. And getting up and working out first thing in the morning is another thing that kind of just gets my mind ready to move and ready to go. So those are kind of my.
Have you always done the early morning workout thing?
Yeah, I mean, since I was in high school, so yeah.
Like
I used
2
to
years?
Like 8 years. 6, 8 years, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. 2 months ago. Somehow he's mastered the fountain of youth, so I'm trying to figure that out. If it's this early morning gym thing or Cabo or Bora Bora or whatever, I'm along for the ride. Right. Sign me up for the international challenge. Well, we're excited to talk to you guys more later in the show. Thanks again for being here today.
All right, so Monday motivation. There's a great article on Entrepreneur because, look, our culture's obsessed with success. Let's face the fact. We're a bit of a rat race around here. But the secret to success in business, and this one article is interesting. We put it in the notes, and if you start to study success, and obviously we all have our own definition of success. But when it comes to business it is an exchange of energy. So there is numbers like money that we can actually, there's a measurement to it. So it comes down to one thing, and it's sales. I mean, people hate the word sales, but if you think about it, we sell in our friendship. We're selling in, dating. We're selling in everything is a sale. And if you take a look at it like it's an exchange of, attention or energy or money or whatever it is. And so this gentleman who wrote this was talking about Zig Ziglar, and we're talking about the secret this week. Zig Ziglar, we're all about law of attraction and what it takes to really have good sales, which is really being your highest version of yourself, to have an exchange of energy. So they had it come down to 5 things, and so just rattling off, and I want to know what your guys' definition of success is. But number 1 is create something of real value, and we know that we have to create value in order to have supply and demand. Number 2 is improve the lives of others, and we're all about that. We love our guests here that are bringing value and improving the lives through their art, through whatever that is. 3rd is be authentic and transparent, and I think that this is the one thing that's changed dramatically from old school sales to the sales today, don't you guys think? Like, you can't really get away with being a cheesy person and not being authentic in sales anymore.
I think it's really important just to, that circles all the way back to number 1. You said, create something of real value, and the key with that is understanding what your real value is and what your intention is, right? And in knowing that, that's the best way for you to truly be authentic, because if you maintain your integrity in that, then naturally you're genuine. You're not putting on a falsehood of trying to sell something you're not. Whether that is you as the product, as a brand, right, on Instagram, or creating your collaboration deals, or something you're physically actually selling. If it's a computer you've created or a coffee mug, whatever it might be, right?
Absolutely, Jess, that's a great point.
Yep.
And it also does highlight the difference between sort of like an outside-in versus inside-out approach. And it's tough because some of the other principles, if you're being transparent, authentic, then they conflict with each other, right? Because if you're trying to offer value, but actually you feel like you don't have anything of value to offer, and you're transparent in that, that's a real problem.
Right, you're gonna love number 4, which is focus on positivity. There's nothing worse. Like, we all want to be around positive people. We all want to do business with positive people, right? I mean, no one wants to be around a bunch of Debbie Downers.
I don't. That's why I do the show with you guys.
Yeah, I'll admit that, though. It's something I've been catching myself doing lately. Is I'm naturally a very positive person, but really maintaining that positivity, forward thinking, even surrounding the unknown, right? If it's an unknown deal or whatever it might be, rather than saying like, oh, I hope they don't change their mind about me, or I hope they don't book somebody else for this job. It's like, no, really embracing the positive outlook of that.
100%.
Forward thinking is key.
Great point, Jazz. And we do know that emotion is the most contagious element in the world. And so to the extent you can associate positive things to you or to the experience or to your brand, the better off you'll be in terms of sales, right?
For sure. And last one is follow the 80-20 rule. And this is one that I think that people forget about, which is basically 20% of your clients or 20% of the efforts that you do in your day make up for like 80% at least of what the outcome is. So focusing on what really is getting you the most efficient and the people that are, you know, abundant in their clienthood.
And I think most of us really underestimate that, right? Like, there are these non-linear relationships that exist in life with respect to what, like, clothes you wear, your friends, sales techniques, and all that. So to the extent that you can focus on the minority of things that are actually getting you the majority of the output, you can be lazier, but smarter, and get much better, or at least equal results with less time and effort.
I do think success is important though, because Monday's not fun. If you have a job or something you're doing that's not having success, it's not as fun as when you're having success, right? So I think it's important. But the reality and the truth is that if you're alive, you're successful. Think about it. You made it out of like 10 billion sperm, okay? So you're here, you are successful, you're a winner. Just
hit the quarter lottery right there.
You don't even have to do anything. You're like, I'm successful, I'm here.
To be honest, don't you feel, I mean, to a large extent, part of what I feel is like, you know, sales comes down to persuasion and influence. And to the extent, I think that some of the greatest salespeople are those folks that don't have any neediness or desperation around selling. And so they embody this abundance perspective and this abundance sort of mentality that's attractive.
Right.
The worst thing I hate in the world is someone who's like trying to sell me super hard on something. I'm running the other direction.
I think the biggest, I was thinking about where do I sell, what do I buy? It's always when my girlfriends have told me about it, whether it be a book, a program, whatever. I've heard about it through people I love and they've been positively impacted by it. So I don't think I ever really buy through someone selling me, like really rarely.
It's a great point. People ask me all the time like, oh, you know, and I want to hear you guys' experience. You know, like, oh, you did the show on Eat for 2 years, or you did this or did that. Like, you must have gotten a ton of clients from that. I'm like, actually, no, not really, which surprises people. I'm like, I already had a full practice, but the full practice came through word of mouth. It doesn't come, you know.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up, Rob, because I don't think some things necessarily translate, right? Television audiences to private clients or whatever that may be, because people assume when you're maybe in media or the face of something that you're not accessible or attainable. Why would I reach out to Rob? He's on E. He's never going to work with me. I would look at you and think that. I'd be like, you are too cool for me.
Wow.
I'm not going to reach out.
I owe her a check or 3.
No, but I really do think that, because there is kind of a wall there.
It's a really good point, Jess, the accessibility piece. And I think it all ties. I mean, I think sales is kind of complex, honestly, in so many ways, and so that's a huge piece. Just being able to build that kind of rapport that feels like familiarity.
But he is so accessible. You can read his book. For all the pearls of wisdom, slide into your DMs, Rob Mack Official.
That's right, but it all comes down to belief. So if you believe you're successful, you will. If you don't, self-doubt, all that stuff, you got to work on that for sure. So we want to know what your definition of success is. Please DM us or whatever. We're going to be doing some stories with the guests. We want to know more about success and what it means to you. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hello, Los Angeles. I am your host and producer, Alex Worley, filming inside Focus TV's West Hollywood studio. Welcome to Empowerista, a show dedicated to highlighting female trailblazers and empowering you to turn your barriers into breakthroughs.
Hey guys, I'm Amy Paprat.
And I'm Justin Walter.
And this is What's Good, the show that's dedicated to positive, uplifting news from all over the world.
We are live.
Live from Los Angeles. Welcome to Good Morning LaLaLand. I'm Dr. Erin.
Hi, I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jez Moyer. This is Good Morning LaLaLand, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Now also available on Apple TV and Roku. It's going to be a Good Morning LaLaLand.
the very first episode of Sadie Says. I'm your host, Natalie Sadie. Welcome, Daniel Hall. First episode.
I didn't even realize it was your first episode.
Hi, welcome to Dr. Erin Show. It's been a while since we've been here, and I'm so excited because we're going to be talking about discovering your purpose and calling, and I have Elle Russ in the house. Thank you so much for coming all the way down here today.
Hi everyone, and welcome back. I'm your host, Tara Tanner, and this is the Model Mama Show. I'm so excited about our guest today. We have Chelsea Cannell-Briggs, who this is literally a blast from the past, you guys.
It's true.
We haven't seen each other since we worked together at Fox Sports.
Hello and welcome back to the show. I am excited and delighted because we have an amazing guest. So thank you, Jeannie, for joining us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me. I'm a fan of both of you.
I'm Jessamine Mollier, and this is LA Unscripted, and I'd love to welcome to my show Mr. Jacques Silverstein. Thank you so much for being here.
It's my great pleasure to be with you.
This is somebody who went from super nerd to supermodel, so I'm so excited. Let's talk to Anna.
Yes.
Anna, you were the winner of our very first Viva Glam model search.
Yeah, you guys were actually my very first photo shoot.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Reshape. I'm Allie Landry, and I am so thrilled to have our next guest. So I am so grateful that you are here with us at Reshape today.
Thank you, Allie. I'm so happy to see you. And you couldn't look more gorgeous if you tried.
Today's guest is best known for being the fitness guru on 6 seasons of The Biggest Loser. He's a New York Times best-selling author. Dolvet. Dolvet, we don't even say Quince anymore. It's just Dolvet. It's
like one name.
Dolvet.
You are tuning in to Slay with Rachel McCourt, and I have a fabulous guest. In studio with me is Liza Glukoff. She's just been named executive producer of programming at Awesomeness TV. We have perfect lighting. We've got some Spa Girl vodka in case we get a little crazy.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Millennial Life. I'm your host, Laura Odegaard, and today we are joined by the very beautiful former Miss California and now a TV host, Natasha Martinez. I'm so happy that you're here.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Hello and welcome to The Joe Show. I'm Josephine, and here on our couch today is none other than the heartthrob of Shahs of Sunset, Shervin.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Ren Wood Show. I am so excited for my guest today. I have the beautiful Bianca Hayes. Thank you so much for being here, Bianca. Give me a hug.
For this episode of Purpose, I'm your host, Brittany Zonker. I'll see you next time.
Hola, yo soy Gina Moreno y soy una reportera aquí en Los Ángeles. Para mí, mi pasión es para decir las historias de las personas que han luchado lo imposible. Todas las entrevistas aquí en Focus TV.
Hi, I'm Gina Moreno, a reporter here in Los Angeles, and my passion is to tell people's stories, the stories of people who have accomplished the impossible. For all the interviews, make sure to watch Focus TV.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. I am so excited because Parker Powell is in the house, and I am absolutely vibing off your new single, International.
We love it.
We're glad. I'm glad.
Love it. So tell us a little bit about the inspiration for this song. Did you write it? What happened here?
So wrote it in Atlanta with a couple other people. Producer brought me a lesser version of the track. So I got to be a part of that, and we wrote it, and the story behind it is kind of a story of mine that I was talking to this girl at the time that she was just kind of too much to handle, keep up with her. So we thought of, let's do a very literal sense of she's in Bora Bora, she's in, can't keep up with her, that kind of thing. So it turned into a very literal, something I was going through kind of thing.
I love it. And I absolutely love this video for Wasted. Tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here.
Yeah, so Wasted was my first single, and this was a video we actually did here in LA, up in the hills. Got a house, and we just got a crew together and shot a great video. Yeah, I mean, that was my first single that came out in like last September, so it's been a little bit, but great video. You should check it out.
So exciting. So, I mean, obviously we see great success. We love your music. And I think people, of course, they want to know the heart. They want to know what's going on behind the scenes. And we know we're talking about success, but I know I'm sure you've had to overcome a lot of things in your life as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so actually right now I'm working on an album. And so that's kind of what all my time and music is going into. These songs you're hearing now are songs that will be on it. But yeah, so with my music, I kind of have purpose with it. I'm not just making music to make it. Yeah. I believe that like my whole generation has this like, oh, they don't work hard, they want handouts, they this, that, and the other. And so with my music, I really want to, like, I'm trying to inspire people, and I have real purpose behind it, and I want it to, at the same time as I want it to be fun and positive energy, I really want it to move people to want to work towards something, want to go out and get it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Does most of your inspiration for your music come from personal experience, or does it come from?
Yeah, I think a lot of that, the whole inspirational side of me comes from sports, because I played college football for a year, and so.
Where'd you play?
Furman University in South Carolina. Yeah, and so like I've always been like a vocal leader and inspirational, and I got to give my parents a lot of credit for that, because they're amazing, and they've always been like shoot for the star, go for your dreams kind of thing. So.
And you've been making music since you were 8 years old, right?
Yeah, there was a time where I stopped because of the whole football thing, but yeah, I mean I've been making music. Yeah, since I was 8 with my uncle in a little basement studio.
So what would you tell people? Like, what would you tell people that are out there that are struggling, they have some art in them? What success tools would you say?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, if I were to give one piece of advice kind of thing, I'd say fall in love with the process, because it is one. I mean,
oh my gosh, marathon, right?
It's no sprint.
That's a great advice.
No sprint.
And on top of that, like once you reach a certain amount of success, or a little bit of success, it makes it so much better that you had to fight through, if it was financially or if it was a right. Whatever it was, it makes it so much better to, you know, like, I did it. Like, because of that, this is why it tastes so good kind of thing.
So true.
Well, and you've invested so much of your time in creating not only a background in music, but in engineering as well, right? You were in Nashville doing some work there. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I lived in Nashville for about 10 months, and yeah, I did an audio engineering course. It was less of, I'm not trying to be like a producer engineer, because those guys put 10 years into it, and like, I just don't have time for that. So, but it was good to understand, and got me really comfortable with the studio setting, and I mean, I'm able to communicate with audio engineers and stuff like that because of this course, so it was great.
What's been the hardest part of your journey to date?
Probably just keeping on, because like, I write songs that will be on my album that I wrote a year ago. And so it's like, oh, I've got this great music, I've got this great stuff, but until it's released, International, for example, we probably wrote that song 8 months ago, and it came out July 5th. So like, it's just kind of a waiting, it's like hurry up and wait, you know? It's like, it's kind of a waiting game.
So the women out there, we don't need to know if you're in a relationship or not, but I know they want to know.
Single. Let it be known. Let it be known. He's available.
They want to know, how do you weed through, like, knowing if a woman's authentic, or if she's just, you know, holding on to your success and wants to ride along those
coattails.
I mean, you never know.
Thank you.
Do you ever really know?
You never know. Yeah. Girls are sneaky. Women are sneaky out here. But yeah, I mean, it's you just kind of gotta play it by ear.
What's it been like for you to navigate La La Land?
I mean, it's been fun. I mean.
At least you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah, I don't live out here yet, so I still see everything as like, oh, LA, like the glamour.
Fresh.
Yeah, exactly. I see LA as it wants to be portrayed. So I haven't been in the whole. I've never been sad in LA.
What are you trying to say? It's fake around here?
You've got to stay away from the whole Mike Posner thing. You know, don't get jaded too young. Stay fresh. Stay hopeful.
Yeah.
So, what is your mission with your music? I mean, what's happening for Parker in the next 5 years?
Oh, in the next 5 years, I mean, no telling. I mean, hopefully we'll be on world tours and have a bunch of #1s and stuff. But I mean, outside of the awards and plaques and everything like that, I really want to have a voice, and I want to really encourage people to pursue a dream, or to just pursue happiness, whatever that way may be. Like, you don't need money to be happy, you know.
Right.
So
You can just take it international. Who cares if you can keep up with her or not, right?
Exactly.
You just take yourself to Bora Bora.
Exactly.
What artists inspire you the most? You have a favorite artist?
That's a tough one. I mean, so I'm from Atlanta. I love rap and hip hop music. Drake and Big Sean. I love Big Sean. He's probably my favorite rapper, just because like he's got bars that can go with anybody, and then on top of that, he's got the whole inspirational thing, which I'm all about and all over. Positive energy. But yeah, I mean, there's all the big ones, The Weeknd. Those guys, I mean, they shape pop music, so it's kind of a hard question to answer.
I listen to all those guys when you're working out? I listen to defines the kind of music I actually
okay,
really
yeah.
right.
I mean, I listen to, most of the music I listen to is mine, but
yeah,
outside of that, I mean, it's, yeah, I mean, I've countless of music. Yeah.
For people who haven't heard, your album, how would you describe it?
Well, the album's not out yet, but the music that I have been putting out, I mean, it's pretty mainstream pop, what you'd hear on the radio. It's fun, positive energy with some R&B and EDM undertones kind of thing.
Tell them what you really want to tell them. It's the hottest music you ever heard.
It's the best music out.
It's fire.
The best music out.
Yeah. Emojis are just flying right now, right?
They're so fun. So anything else people don't know anything of, like a secret that you've said on camera, we want to hear it. Anything?
Oh.
Anything they don't know? Like if there'd be like one thing people don't know about you.
You see, that answer when I was in high school used to be that I can sing, but now it's like, so
everybody knows that.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that one.
Well, now it's that maybe you played football.
Yeah, now it's the other way around. Yeah.
You got a release date for the album?
No, it'll be next year. It'll be next year. Got a lot more music coming this year, though. I've got releasing a song a month kind of thing until next year, so got a lot of new stuff coming. Yeah.
Nice.
So exciting, man.
So exciting. We love it. Great music.
Thank you.
Tell people where they can follow you and find your tunes.
You can follow me on Instagram at Paul Hill, POLHILL. Same with Twitter, all that good stuff. Instagram is probably the one I'm on the most, but you can get my music anywhere: Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Pandora, SoundCloud, everywhere.
Everywhere.
Go listen.
It's international. Yeah. See what I did there?
Got it.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more Good Morning La La Land.
For you, in this moment, what feels most true to you?
The three of you. Really grounded and present and like honored to be sitting with other like-minded individuals. I think that it's so important with everything that's going on in the world that this is our now, that this is hopefully the future. And because of the experience with certain things on TV in the past, it's heartbreaking. And it's heartbreaking to watch, and it's heartbreaking to see other people go through it. And people out there watching it don't really understand what it does to your psyche and to your heart. It's just tragic. And so I think what you guys are doing here is absolutely just a gift.
Right. This is my sanity.
I can see that.
There's so much insanity in my life and uncertainty. This is my truth.
I have a hard time saying no to. One is a boy in a band, and the second is a Snickers bar. So I wrote a song about that.
I hear you, sister.
Chasing you down like an ice cream truck. Every damn time that my phone lights up, I'll be salivating at the sound of what's up. Yo, what's up? Boy, you're delicious. It's too bad you ain't nutritious. When you say my name, it's like candy. When you kiss my lips, it's like candy. You're no good for me, you're like candy. You're like candy, hey.
Here's
Oh, thank you guys.
Love addiction. I hear it. Wow.
Do you guys want to be my backup?
It's like, okay, you guys, come on. We need to get vulnerable here.
Totally. I think it's okay to pepper it in, and I love beautiful content, and I've always been a fan of putting out really quality content, but at the same time, I think that it's really important for my industry to tell their story. The mission has definitely been to inspire women to be the best version of themselves and kind of be an example and a role model for a lot of girls that are reading my blog.
What's been the biggest challenge for you in doing this, in building this business?
Ooh, the biggest challenge, I think, is how consistent you really have to be. So what I've had to do is learn that I'm like a cell phone. I have 100% charge and it goes down to 1%. And when it's down there, I need to step back, recharge. The consistency of creating content, it can be a lot, but I think I love it. And
welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. I am so excited to welcome this show, Tanya Acker. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely loving Hot Bench. It is hot in here, and in the show itself, it's actually even hotter.
It's brilliant.
Is
Judge
our
Judy
show
hotter than LA is these days?
Yeah. I would say it gives it a run for its money.
Thank you for that. We're having fun. We're having a lot of fun. It's we're now shooting our 5th season, so it's the people like it. I like to think that in addition to entertaining people, we do try to give people a little tidbit of legal knowledge. You know, right? It's nice when there's a takeaway from the show. We're also doing something that I think is important because all of our cases are real cases. They're from small claims courts all around the country. And so the people who come on our show are actually able to get out of that really long line because courts are crowded, and we can get them sort of a quicker bite at the justice apple.
So it was created by Judge Judy, who we all know, who's been on television forever, and I mean, she's just amazing. And so you guys have a panel, right? So there's how many of you on the panel?
There are 3 of us. So Judy came up with the idea for the show when she was traveling, and she saw a 3-judge panel in Europe. And in Europe, unlike here, it's not uncommon to have a case tried in the first instance by 3 judges. Normally in the States, you only get 3 judges on appeal. And so she saw this idea. I mean, she saw this tribunal, and she's like, I want to make that a show. So here we all are. My 2 colleagues are 2. I'm a lawyer. I didn't sit as a judge before being on the show. I sat like as a temporary judge in traffic court. But my 2 colleagues, Michael Corriero and Patricia Domingo, are both from New York, both sat on the bench for decades. So it's really, you know, the 3 of us, we've got very different perspectives, we've got different backgrounds, and I think the consequence of pulling all that together is we're able to give viewers something new and different.
I'm wondering how sitting on the bench has been different to you rather than being on the other side.
So different. It is so, it really was a very steep learning curve because there are a lot, you know, temperamentally and in terms of your approach to a problem, it's very different when you're the one who's resolving it as opposed to being the one who's like fighting for it, right? Like I'm used to being an advocate. And so for me, it was quite a learning curve because on the one hand, I'm like, okay, I'm here to solve the problem. But on the other hand, I'm like, you guys are acting crazy. You're not supposed to act like this in court, you know, just in court. You know, whereas like my 2 colleagues who are used to seeing people act out in court under much worse circumstances are like, oh, I'll be all right, like give them a break sometimes.
But it's on TV, so let's face the fact, they're gonna dramatize it more than they would if it was a traditional court scene, right?
You know, you would think that, right? You would think that, but no, really. I mean, we don't tell people, like, it's not a scripted show. We get a complaint and an answer. The first time they show up in front of me is the first time I've met them. You know, I've seen their papers in advance, so I know the problem. And it would surprise you the extent to which people, knowing they're on TV, knowing everybody's seeing, you know, how this thing is working out, they are still really, really riled up. I mean, you would think sometimes that the camera would take things down, but it doesn't. It can also build it up, but sometimes it really just gives you a glimpse of what's there.
Interesting.
You know, it's just a glimpse of what's there.
Has surprised you most about doing the show and sort of being on the side, or?
Yeah, I think one of the things that surprises me is, well, a couple of things, frankly, have surprised me. I mean, I've been a lawyer for some time, so I've seen people fight over really nasty, tricky things. So it's not the depth of the fighting that surprises me. But what I will say, and you know, you have to remember that our case, they're small claims litigants, right? These are people who are not represented. I'm sometimes surprised by the extent to which people think they can just win a lawsuit with a smile and good looks and no evidence.
I mean,
right?
that's how I get out of my speeding ticket.
You know what? If you look like you, then maybe you don't get tickets. But no, seriously, sometimes people, they're kind of like, well, how are you going to prove this thing to me? And they're like, well, because I said it. I'm like, well, that's not really, you know, we're not hanging out on the sofa just having a chat. We're trying to resolve a real problem. And in order to do that, you've got to have some evidentiary basis. So sometimes I'm a little surprised that people just think that, like, you know, fighting, you know, proving a fact doesn't really matter.
Right. So we're talking about success today, Monday motivation and that. And look at you. I mean, you're drop dead gorgeous.
You're sweet.
So intelligent. It looks like you're married. You obviously are, like, you have a lot of success. What would you say is the secret
to
success?
Gosh. That is really, I was thinking about that question as I've been listening to your program today. For me, it really is about direction. Like, sometimes I just have to sit still and figure out what is going to be the next thing. You can't be successful in anything, I think, until you focus and, like, kind of direct your energy toward a goal, right? You know, sometimes we're just kind of floundering. I'm not talking about other people, like, sometimes it's me, right? You can just get caught up in the day and the routine of the day, and you're putting, like, you know, you sort of get used to doing your thing. And sometimes when you're not spending as much time focusing on why you're doing it, you know, it just becomes this rhythm, this routine. I think that real success is about knowing what you're doing and why you're doing it, and then just trying to stay focused on it. Right. And that's hard.
It's incredible that you say that, because I sort of heard you say in your experience, sort of things that surprised you most was, almost if I were to put words in your mouth, is that people seem less able to think in strategic ways than you might expect, and they're less focused in that way. And so, have you found that? Have you found that over the course of your career, and then coming on to that sort of being in front of the camera, that people are more challenged by the ability to think strategically and be intentional and be focused than ever before?
I think you just really hit the nail on the head. I mean, in terms of a lot of things. First off, I think strategic thinking is something that people often attribute to lawyers, right? Because they think of us like, you bring me a problem and I've got to put together your case and figure out how to solve it. But it's much bigger than that, right? Like, if you're thinking about the strategy of how to think about your life, right? Everything is a strategy. There's there's strategic thinking in terms of, how am I going to get through this week, getting done completing all the things I want to get done, while at the same time, like, you know, I really don't like to be so structured all the time. I
How
think
am I going to get through the 405 at rush hour?
It's like, you've got to really, and you know, it's also about managing your life so that your head's not so full and crazy, right? Like, for me, part of my strategic thinking is simplifying my head. Like, otherwise, if there's too much stuff, you don't really get anything done. You know, you're moving in 5 different directions instead of getting one thing done really well.
I mean, from Yale and law school, was this always your strategy?
I did not think that Judge Judy Shannon would one day pick me to be, like, on her new show.
So what did you think when you got that call?
That was incredible. I mean, so here's the truth. I actually got a call, and they said, CBS is casting a new show. Can you come down this afternoon? And I was like, I gotta do my hair. Right? I was like, I can't.
I don't know.
Get my hair done. So I was like, give me a minute to, like, because they're like, can you come down, like, in the next couple hours? I was like, can you give me a minute? Like, just give me a minute. And so there were a few of us, and then we did kind of different combinations of people, and I made the cut. But I got to tell you, it is really something to be, like, when we were kind of doing run-throughs. I remember being on the bench, and I saw Judy, like, walk in, and she's kind of walking, you know, around, and she really is just a powerhouse. Like, her energy is so alive. Everything you're seeing on camera with her is real and sincere. You know, people sometimes say, is she really nice? I'm like, yeah, if you don't show up lying. She's she's been a lovely mentor and guide to me in this business in all sorts of ways. But I have to say, like, that first moment when I realized I'm trying out for Judge Judy, that's when it kind of hit. I was like, wow. But yeah, it worked out. So,
well, perfect time in history. And you're a perfect role model to carry the leadership of a women, and we're just proud of all your work.
Absolutely. I know you've always been an avid voice for women, for minorities. Tell us a little bit about the platform and how Hot Bench has helped you with this.
I think that TV is really special because it does kind of put you in a place where people will listen and they care about some of the stuff, you know, that is important. And for me, like the things that I talk about publicly are really just an outgrowth of things I've been doing for a long time. I've been on the board of Public Counsel, which is the largest provider of free legal services in the country for some time. I'm on the board of the Western Justice Center, which promotes alternative dispute resolution. I surprise some people when I tell them I'm also on the board of the Boy Scouts, the National Executive Board, yes. I think that first off, I started with a council that in the Western LA County Council, which never discriminated on the basis of sexual orientation. And so then when the Scouts changed their national policy, and then now they're allowing girls to achieve the rank of Eagle, I think it's really important, frankly. You know, this whole conversation about girls in the Scouts, the girls have actually always been in the Scouts. The policy change that's getting so much attention now just allows the girls who've already been in Scouts to make the highest rank of Eagle.
Were you a Scout?
I was not. I was not. I got involved actually because this council, the Western LA County Council, which was sort of my introduction to Scouts, they wanted some help sort of navigating some legal issues, and they're also kind of strategic position because the Western LA County Council was actually taking a position on membership and inclusion and sexual orientation that was far advanced than what was happening nationally. So they kind of wanted some help with like strategic direction and communication stuff, and I'm also their in-house, their pro bono lawyer.
Wow.
So there's, you know, there's organizations like that. Like I think that the Scouts are important because it really does sort of teach civics. And I'm telling you, structure, and there is some good to that.
Survival skills.
Like athletes, athletic programs, and these are things that the kids need in our world because there isn't a lot of structure.
No, there's not. And you know, I think the flip side of that, I've also had the chance to like work with kids, you know, who haven't had that opportunity, right? Like I just gave the graduation speech at East River Academy, which is a school on Rikers Island in the jail. And to see these kids, you know, incarcerated kids marching down in caps and gowns and crying, you know, because they, you know, some of them got high school equivalency degrees, like there were different, you know, there were different exams that they had taken and passed. But really to have the chance to like work with kids and to work with people who to some extent, you know, we've written off a lot of folks that shouldn't be written off. A lot of those kids who are eagerly learning. In Rikers, and remember, Rikers is a place where lots of folks are just because they can't make bail. You know, I mean, they haven't necessarily been adjudicated guilty of anything. Some of them just can't make bail.
Wow.
So these kids are there learning, and I have to say, it reminded me that if there's any good I can do, if there is any, you know, people watch the show, they like the show, and because of it, you know, you've got me on your very fun show. If there's any good I can do, it's just I'd like for people to, we need to start being a little more compassionate. You know, we've written off people who are on the, we've written off incarcerated people, we've written off entire communities of folks, and I really think it's a lack of compassion. Like we're, and again, you know, I'm talking to myself too. It's something I want to remind myself of when I'm doing cases. Like you know, justice is necessary, and we need justice and rules and structure, but we also need a little more compassion.
So what's the first step in that?
Honestly, for me, the first step is just to try to be nicer in the space that I am. Like, right, we can only control the space we occupy. Sometimes we get in trouble, I think, by trying to do too much or, you know, take things too far. You can really make the biggest impact sometimes by just trying to touch who and what's around you. We forget sometimes, especially when we're busy, and if you live in a town like LA, it's easy to not be nice. You know, I've had days where like somebody cuts you off, you just don't feel nice. And I can't say, like I can't say I'm an LA native, and so I watch this traffic grow exponentially, leaps and bounds. There are times when I'm not so nice.
Right.
And I have to remind myself, you know, it's to me, I feel like I'm just a work in progress, right? Like I want to be better, I want to be nicer, I want to be more compassionate.
And be compassionate to yourself for not being perfect in that. What do you do to really maintain that balance? I know you said, you know, you get quiet, but is there something you do to really just look after yourself?
I try to do a number of things to look after myself. You know, I wish, especially here on this platform with you guys, I wish I could say I'm really diligent about meditating. I'm not.
Me neither.
I try. Like I try, but I'm not as regular as I should. I do like to work out. I think that there is a real healing that happens when you exert yourself physically. Like your head clears up. I don't do it first thing in the morning. I can't, like you guys with these early, that is,
otherwise we wouldn't get it done.
But it's true, like if you got to get it out of the way, but it's hard for me early, but I'm trying to make it earlier because it really does, it does pick you up. And for me, like my family and my friends, you know, are really, I don't know how I would manage much, frankly, without the community of people that I have. You know, I think it's easy, especially, you know, when you work in television and you're doing something that people are watching. You can really be racked by self-doubt and self-criticism. Like, you know, just watch yourself on TV, you know, look at some of these bad wigs I've had sometimes. And it's like, you know, back in the day when you're done, like, oh, did I wear that? Did I look that? Did I say that? And so when you're in a situation where you're constantly presented with yourself, it's easy to criticize. Like, it's easy to become super critical. And that's actually something that I work on, because at some point, you know, as you said, you got to just live with your mistakes.
Get off your own hot bench.
Exactly. That's right.
Well, I do believe that it is an ethical and moral, you know, spiritual world. There are cause and effect that happen, but I do think that we all have to be more compassionate, especially right now in history, and starts with the self for sure. But if we could just do it for our community and let it spread out from there. So thank you so much for being a leader and representing for all of us in that realm. Where can people find you?
You can see us on CBS stations and Fox stations. We're in syndication. So in LA, we're on Channel 9 at 1 o'clock, I believe.
All right.
Isn't that horrible that it just took me that long to like remember what
Everything's on demand anyway. It's so fun. And they can follow you personally on Instagram as well.
Yes, Instagram, Tanya Acker, Twitter, Tanya Acker, Facebook, also Tanya Acker.
All right.
Yeah.
Congratulations on getting those handles. Right?
Absolutely. Stay tuned. We'll be back for more on Good Morning La La Land.
Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. We are so honored to be a part of making a difference in the world.
That's right. We're so excited. We have a special guest, Burt Ward. You know as this Robin.
From Cake Crusader to Canine Crusader, this fan may have the biggest heart.
Well, I'm here to talk to you about helping your dog live longer and healthier and happier. Wouldn't it be great to have your dog live with you an extra 5 or 10 years longer? Well, you can do that. We have developed a special feeding and care program. It's called Gentle Giants. My wife and I operate the largest giant breed dog rescue in the world. It's a real charity. We take no money from our rescue. We take no money from our dog food. It's all about helping people have their favorite pet living with them 5 to 10 years longer. In fact, our dogs live up to 27 years healthy and active. Wow.
Amazing.
We have a food that is absolutely wonderful. My wife and I take no salary from this. We sell it basically at our cost. It's in Walmart all across the country. On the East Coast, it's all about giving back people that love animals. And you know, most people really love their animals. If you were to ask somebody, how long would you like your dog to live? Everybody says the same thing, forever, right? Well, they can't live forever, but we have dogs living up to 27 years, healthy and active, still running around like puppies. And our dogs are so healthy on our Gentle Giants dog food and how we feed and care for dogs. It's all those things together that our dogs only go to a veterinarian every 3 years. All we want is for you to have a chance for your dog to live as long as ours and as healthy. So that's what we're doing. Gentle Giants Dog Food. Gentle Giants Dog Food and Products is our Facebook page. GentleGiantsDogFood.com is our website. Plus, for everybody that has a question, we have a 24/7, 365 support. You can call us any issue involving your dog, medical, behavior, feeding, care. We help you for free.
It is time to transition to Gentle Giants.
Yes. Our charity, Wowie Zowie, to the Batmobile, citizens.
Welcome back to Motivation Monday on Good Morning La La Land. Today we are talking with Parker and Tanya. We're talking about success and motivation. And part of the question of the day is, what is the most important thing you've learned about success? So we'll start maybe with you, Tanya.
Oh, wow. Not to take it for granted, to also recognize that it's a beginning. You know, whatever thing that you've succeeded in is really just the step to the next thing. It's just a beginning.
Isn't that interesting, that whole paradigm shift? You think, I will be happy when, or I will do this when I get there, and then you get there, and it's only the beginning of the next thing. You know, it's not the destination. It's like, oh my God, I want a morning talk show. Okay, got it. Now what's next? You know?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that something comes great with success when you like learn about success and gain a little bit of success, is it brings a sense of confidence. Because before, I mean, doing a first show like this, even like if you've never done it before, you're going in there maybe more nervous or not as confident as in your.
Oh, we are perfect from day one. Just to make that clear.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, dear God, no.
So true, right?
Yeah.
So true. We're perfectionists, and I remember the first time getting in front of the camera, I was flailing all over the place, and it's like, well, this is what it looks like. You know, you don't show up and you're not perfect in front of the camera the first time, but I still flail around a lot.
We all do. You made a good point earlier too, and I think you both spoke to it really eloquently, and that is the importance of prioritizing the process as opposed to like the destination or the result. And I think when I was young, I heard that a lot, and it just sounded like a popular trope. I think mostly because it was like, oh yeah, of course you want to do what you love, but the reason you've got to do what you love is because you can't maintain or sustain that effort long term if you're not enjoying each single step.
Exactly. Yeah.
Preach, mic drop.
That's all I got for today. That's all I got. Tap.
Well, we are Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday live at 9 a.m. on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. You can listen to these amazing interviews on our podcast. We are available on iTunes.
Right, we're waking up the world together. You guys like, share, and comment. Sending love out to you. May you live a life that you love and never work another day in your life. Have a great one, you guys.
It's going to be a Good Morning La